Relieve, Respond, Revive. WSFL-TV presents The Rebound, South Florida.
I think it's stressful.
Stressful in the sense that it's so hard to try to do what we want to do.
The hardest lessons this school year aren't what students are learning, it's what they're experiencing. But it's just as difficult for teachers. We're checking in with some educators to see how they're doing.
The stress that's being put on their families, their home environment is extremely stressful.
Helping kids manage the pressure, how the Police Athletic League is helping local families, and what you can do to get your children involved.
Never before has there been 5 Black commissioners.
Celebrating Black history, the new exhibit in Miami-Dade that recognizes family. We'll take you there. The Rebound South Florida starts right now.
Tonight, confusion growing over how much longer long-term care staff and residents will be able to get the COVID-19 vaccine inside their facilities. This especially after so many long-term care workers have rejected the first round of shots.
Well, hello. Are you ready?
During this vaccine clinic at Grand Villa Assisted Living Facility last week,
You're set to go. You're welcome, Aaron.
second dose shots were first priority when we stopped by.
Next up,
By day's end, the majority of these Sarasota residents fully vaccinated.
okay, so you have to fill out one of these.
As for staff,
Not too many staff members, me included. I opt out to get the shot because back in June I had COVID.
LaToya Wright is a nurse here and among the estimated 70% of staff at this center who have said no to the COVID-19 vaccine.
It won't protect me from not ever getting it again. I just feel like I believe in God and He brought me through having COVID. He'll bring me through this.
Statewide, nearly 70% of the state's 200,000 long-term care staffers have rejected the vaccine.
The problem with staff not getting vaccinated is, of course, they're probably our largest source of bringing COVID into the communities.
Jennifer McConnell, Assistant Director of Quality Assurance, says it's a similar picture at all 18 Grand Villa Assisted Living Centers across Florida.
I thought that staff members would be standing in line asking for the vaccine when it became available. It is a little disappointing.
Now she has reason to fear the number of unvaccinated in her facilities is going to get worse.
There's an issue with, how are we going to get those people vaccinated?
Since last month, long-term care centers have relied on federal or state-run vaccination clinics like this one to get residents and staff their shots quickly. But these clinics end this month, leaving anyone who didn't get a shot to join the masses struggling to get appointments on their own.
When we have new residents moving in, those residents can't get vaccinated out into the general public. Or new team members coming in, it's very difficult for people to get vaccinated out into the general public.
It's a concern the industry doesn't have a clear answer for. A spokesperson for the state's Nursing Home Association told us this is one of the many reasons we continue to do promotions in our facilities, working hard to encourage staff to get their shots.
It's just too unpredictable right now.
LaToya Wright remains in a wait and see.
I'm not saying that I won't, but I just won't get it now.
Beautiful. Look at me.
But it's the wait and see industry leaders are afraid of.
Wait, am I done? 15 minutes?
If staff don't get vaccinated, I really and truly don't think we'll ever get back to normal.
After we shared with the state concerns facilities had about the end to these vaccination clinics, a spokesperson from the Department of Health told us they are extending these clinics to ensure the most vulnerable have access to the COVID-19 vaccine as quickly as possible. Katie LeGrone, WSFL TV.
I'm Forrest Saunders at the Capitol. COVID-19 vaccinations are precious, but Florida has wasted thousands to date. And while that number is expected to grow in the coming months, medical experts are challenging the state to do better.
Oh my gosh, amazing. Absolutely amazing.
Patricia Regal is feeling great after getting her first dose of the COVID-19 vaccine. Worried for months she would become a victim without it.
It's scary. You're afraid to go anywhere. So, yeah, I am so happy.
But to date, thousands of wasted doses have delayed the chances for other Floridians.
Okay, I'm ready.
You're done.
More than 4,000 shots have been squandered across the state, according to the health department. Most officials say broken, either in transit or during use. Others spoiled before injection. More than 1,000 of them ruined in West Palm after someone mistakenly turned off a refrigerator.
It's so frustrating to think that some of these doses might be wasted when they are so needed.
Dr. Julie Swan studies health system operation at North Carolina State. While Florida's losses are unfortunate, she reminds they're fairly insignificant in the big picture. Waste accounts for about 0.1% of the 2.8 million shots Florida has done.
I think that wastage is not as much of a problem as it is really just we have extremely limited supply right now.
Despite that, some think there's room to improve. Other states have lost fewer shots, even larger ones like Texas. It reports a little more than 2,000 of its 3.3 million going to waste, less than 0.01%.
The vaccine is a complex system, but it could be rendered more highly reliable.
Infectious disease specialist Dr. Fred Southwick says he understands no rollout is perfect, but with lives on the line, is challenging the state to refine and avoid as much waste as possible.
Your system, when there's a problem, don't blame any individuals. Look at your system, redesign it, and continually improve it.
Florida does seem to be listening. An audit of the West Palm incident already underway, with results expected by the end of this week. Perhaps finding efficiencies to ensure more of this.
The shot was a piece of cake, and I'm ready for my second one in 2 weeks.
And less waste in the coming months. The CDC is asking states to track and share the amount of vaccine wasted, and in the coming weeks, they plan to share that information online for health officials and the public to review. That's the latest out here at the Capitol. I'm Forrest Saunders reporting.
Here's what's next on the Rebound South Florida. Each week, we focus on who's hiring. A new restaurant is opening its doors, and they need several more employees to make it happen. We'll tell you more about the positions next.
The hospitality industry is slowly rebounding and making a comeback in South Florida as new restaurants are starting to open. One is located right in our backyard and looking to hire several full-time employees.
We just opened on January 29th, so we're about 9 days in. We're busier than we anticipated, so we're looking for fun, energetic, hospitality-driven individuals that really hospitality is their passion.
New to the U.S., S33 Thai Craft Brewery and Kitchen has a team of 65, and they're looking to hire an additional 15 positions.
Mainly line cooks, dishwashers, server assistants, reception, and food runners.
Located on the 4th floor of the Mall Brickell City Center, the eatery features an extensive covered outdoor patio and bar, offering extra room for guests to feel comfortable. Tables are 6 feet apart, and sanitation of all areas are done every half hour. The name S33 is an homage to the startup of the company's brewery in Bangkok in 1933.
Our brewery is a main feature here, but we're also doing elevated Southeastern Asian cuisine with barbecue technique influence.
Miami-Dade County's hospitality industry is recovering, but still facing billions of dollars in losses, affecting the day-to-day lives of local workers like Nathaniel Medrano. He spent most of his life in hospitality and continues to work hard every day.
We are also affected from the pandemic. We have less hours, but still, thanks God, we have our job. And so we just keep going, make money every day.
For those who are out of work and looking for a job, Nathaniel recommends to apply here.
Would you say there's opportunity to grow in the company?
Yes. Now I'm going to start as a barback, but in the future I want to be a bartender.
General Manager Cecilia Romero says there is room to grow at the restaurant. If you're interested in applying for any of the positions, we have a link on our website, WSFLTV.com.
I go to work, she can go nowhere. The corona affect her more than me.
Here's what's next on the Rebound South Florida. The Police Athletic League of North Miami has expanded its services to help families in need, what they're offering, and how you can get your children involved for free. Getting through this with stories to help get back on track as we rebound in South Florida.
Across the country right now, there's a big push to get kids back into the classroom. But teachers who have been doing in-person learning since the beginning of this pandemic are realizing that there are just as many challenges as being on Zoom.
To understand what it is like to be a teacher in America right now is to spend a day inside Algonquin Regional High School.
I'm reflecting a lot on my instruction and what I teach.
Jane Bitar and Tom Alera are both English teachers. Between the two of them, they share more than 50 years experience.
I think it's stressful.
Stressful in the sense that it's so hard to try to do what we want to do for work.
But the hardest lessons this year aren't what students are learning, it's what they're experiencing.
It's not rewarding, maybe because I don't feel that fun, like, connection with the kids as much as usual.
To help keep COVID out of the school, every room now has an air filter. Rooms are cleaned regularly. Masks are mandatory.
Usually I see kids sick and flus and where, everybody's coughing and sneezing. So this has got to be doing something.
Students here are working on a hybrid schedule. Half the class comes in one day, half the next, so that desks can be kept 6 feet apart, which isn't awful.
I appreciate the smaller classes. We're not working with 24 kids in a room, we're working with 12.
But the mask, the lack of interaction, that spontaneous part of education that teachers so love is missing.
I don't see any joy of adolescence. I really don't see it this year. It's so sad.
In-person learning is just different this year. Students can't sit together at lunch. Desks now dot the cafeteria, taking the place of communal tables. Teachers are concerned, not for themselves, but their students.
I'm worried that a little bit of that sort of lack of life and engagement and interaction that has dullified them a little bit, for some kids, I'm worried it's going to stick.
Like so many Americans, it's just hard for these two educators to find motivation some days. All that aside, though, they're grateful to be back in the classroom.
I think we're doing really well. I think we are working really hard, and we know that there is an end in sight.
At least you feel connected and you're part of the world.
I'm Chris Conti.
The Police Athletic League of North Miami has partnered with the Florida Mental Health Coalition to provide services for families in need, and what they're offering is free.
What we try to do is bridge the gap between police and community, especially with this time, with everything that's been going on within the community and the police. We help them academically. We're also now helping them psychologically.
To help with stress in kids, the Florida Mental Health Coalition has partnered with the North Miami Police Athletic League to offer mental health services there. The goal is to make it available for uninsured and underinsured kids.
I would get calls, kids having a problem misbehaving, and I realized that these kids were not criminals. They were just either misunderstood or just having other issues that needed to be addressed.
Dr. Rewa Kazar, psychologist with FHMC, visits the kids once a week after school and offers group therapy sessions.
If we identify, children who need more, more intervention, one-on-one intervention, then we'll identify these children and I'll do one-on-one, therapy with them.
I go to work, she can go nowhere. The corona affect her more than me.
Vernante Cadestine is a mother of one and says her daughter is taking advantage of the therapy session PAL is offering.
I think so she need to take time before you see the difference, because it's not something you can see one day, the difference.
Some of them are missing their school, right? Their school environment because of, the stress that's being put on their families. Their home environment is extremely stressful.
PAL of North Miami has several programs for kids, including peer mentoring, tutoring, and more. For more information, you can call 305-899-2626.
Celebrating Black History Month, the new exhibit in Miami-Dade that recognizes family. We'll take you there. You're watching the Rebound, South Florida.
A Cuban staple in Key Biscayne until the pandemic hit. Now the owners of Oasis Cafe had to adjust by opening a bakery right next door to make ends meet.
We are working about maybe 70 hours a week on 6 days a week, 7 sometimes, whatever you have to do to keep the business running.
Renato Ferraro is the executive chef and partner at Flower and Weirdos, a hidden gem located on Key Biscayne. The concept, started by Renata and business partner Carlos Flores, opened in February, right before the pandemic. It was in addition to a decades-old island eatery called Oasis. Both were operating together.
The biggest challenges for us was the Cuban cafeteria worked with a volume of people, and we knew that with the pandemic we weren't going to have that volume anymore.
At the beginning, everyone was kind of like, where's the Oasis, where's the Oasis?
But slowly but surely, we were able to, seduce people by, the pastries or the bread.
The ingredients used and the only artisanal bakery on the island, helping them stand out.
We mill our own flour in-house, and everything is made from scratch. We pride ourselves in doing that. And also, when we opened concept, we wanted no rules in terms of creativity.
The teamwork making it possible to stay open.
Fortunately, when you have a strong partner that can carry you through the rough times and also through the good ones, it makes it easier.
We really believed that we were taking the right decision for the business and for the employees and for the actual company, and we stuck to it.
Flower and Weirdos is located at 19 Harbor Drive. They're open every day from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m.
WSFL TV is celebrating Black History Month. We know how important the family structure is to the African American community, and local leaders do too. A new exhibit recognizing Black families was unveiled earlier this week in Miami. Our chief photojournalist Ismael Lewis takes us there.
The Black Affairs Advisory Board hosted the Black History Kickoff, where we did a portrait unveiling for celebrating the families of our 5 Black commissioners on the Miami-Dade Board of County Commissioners.
It's always a beautiful thing with a photographer. I love you, Wesley, because you know how to capture an image just like it needs to be captured. One can actually look into the photo and see themselves.
This is Black History Month, so we felt it necessary to celebrate this bit of Black history in Miami-Dade County. Never before has there been 5 Black commissioners. Never before has Black commissioners represented so much of our county, from the Monroe County border all the way up to County Line Road.
We are like the rainbow, and if you squeeze together all of the colors, you get the color black. Something that is beautiful. It is Black History. This month, February, we celebrate.
We've been doing this for several years. We started with a celebration of Black women. We've done the celebration of Black men, but this was the first time we've done a celebration of the Black family. And seeing those wonderful families, the people that our county commissioners think about when they're sitting on the dais, knowing that each one is grounded and rooted in our community, it actually makes us feel as though they're representing not only their families, but all of our families. So it's a wonderful feeling.
You can check out the exhibit in the lobby of the Stephen P. Clark Government Center. The address is 111 Northwest 1st Street in downtown Miami. There's a lot to love about South Florida, whether it's living in the Magic City or a small community. As part of the Rebound, each week we want to hear from you. What do you love about where you live? Tonight we leave you with Tamika Bickham and El Portal.
I'm originally from New Jersey. Ever since I moved back here in 2012, I spent a couple of years in Brickell, but then I ended up moving where I am now in El Portal, which is right next to Miami Shores, the North Miami area, which I feel like there's a lot of untouched hidden gems in this area. El Portal to me is just very peaceful, and it feels very homey, and I feel like I have much more of the community and friendship with my neighbors, which is really nice to have those people that you can lean on or call if you ever need anything and you help each other out.